What is the most resilient parasite? Bacteria? A virus? An intestinal worm?
What Mr. Cobb is trying to say?
An idea. Resilient, highly contagious. Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate. An idea that is fully formed, fully understood, that sticks. Right in there.
Part of my secret sauce, and the secret sauce for a lot of people, it could be at least, is really waiting to get started. You know, I wrote this years ago on our mutual friend, or the friend who introduced me to your work, actually, Ramit Sethi, way back when, in his early blog, I remember writing an article for him that said, don't get started. It was like my advice, because my thought was, it's really hard to get a good idea. And so like, take your time. And then to cultivate a good idea, it takes years. And you have to write, you're going to dedicate a lot of your life to it. So really don't get started if you can at all hold back until you're really, really sure about it. And then people say, yeah, but I worried that I'm just going to procrastinate forever. And in some sense, it's like, well, then maybe you're not meant to do this type of work. But the solution to that is not just, let's just go. Let's just like tweak this. Let's do this video. Let me jump over this. Let me start using generative AI, looking for, if I crypto this thing, just looking for some quick thing that you can connect. And you got to just not want to get started until you can't help but get started. I think that's frustrating for a lot of the internet generation.
Round one, fight.
There's a teacher and he's got two classes that he teaches. And one class, he says, the only assignment for this whole semester is that you come back with a perfect clay pot. That's it. That's the assignment. The other class, he says, your objective is to make the most total quantity of clay pots, and you'll be measured by how many pots you make. And at the end of the quarter, the pots that came from the team that had to just make sheer volume, not only did they make more pots, but the quality of all of their pots was better compared to the teams that only had to make one. And it just underlines the biggest lesson that I've learned in my life, which is that volume negates luck, is that you can try to be lucky and pick the one perfect thing and try and make it. But if you don't want to try and be lucky, you can just do so much fucking work that you will brute force your way to figuring it out. Like if you do 1,000 podcasts, you'll be pretty fucking good at podcasts, right? But if you try to say, okay, you're brand new and all you have to do is make one perfect podcast. The problem is that you don't have the perspective from which to make a judgment to say what is good, because you have zero data to base anything off of. And so you're basing your idea of a perfect podcast on something that you've literally never done before.
Both is good.